James, I'm a massive cricket fan. Followed England for God knows how long. You were on such a roll. You got in the Test team, mid-20s, you could have had a 10-year career as an England superstar. Bang. Literally, bang. It's all over. How, when you were told, you had this little thing, you collapsed at a game, when you were told you're not going to be able to play cricket again, for a guy that's done this all his life, what was that moment like for you?
Well, safe to say it was the toughest moment of my life. To be fair, watching that was pretty tough. But yeah, it was sad. And obviously, when you're told that by the doctors, I'm happy to say I was in hysterics, and all of us were. And that was a tough moment. Not being able to do something you love ever again, and let alone your job. So one, not being able to play cricket. I still play club cricket, or I did. And then not being able to do the job, obviously, that you get paid for, but you do it because you love it. And that's the hardest thing, not being able to do that again.
I could see, you know, even now, it's very raw and emotional for you, isn't it? The England team, they're playing the first Test match tomorrow morning in Headingley. You would have been there. You'd have been batting in the top order. It's killing me for you, and I've never met you before. I just so admired the way that you were the fittest member of the team. You'd fought against a lot of odds to get in there. It's awful. How are you coping? Well, look, two things. How are you coping with the enormity of not being able to even work out anymore because you were the fittest guy, but also the outpouring of love that has come your way from the cricket world and the outer world?
Yeah, not being able to work out is probably the hardest thing. I'm quite vain as it is. Looking after my body is going to be tough. Like, I had the first 3 days in hospital, I was actually lying on, obviously I couldn't get out of bed. I physically couldn't walk for a week after the attack. So lying in bed without a top on, being hooked up to the machines, after 3 days I looked in the mirror and I was like, this isn't good enough, I've got to put my top back on because I hadn't been to the gym. But it is tough, but I'm lucky that I've got the likes of Josephine next to me that's kept me going, and all the support around the world has truly been amazing, and it is priceless. The support on social media, my Twitter was going wild.
A lot more followers.
Well,
it's been quite a cunning plan.
Every cloud and all that. It was a bit dramatic to seek so much attention this way, but no, it has been priceless, and like I wouldn't be here without that support and that network of people around me, and like not just the people that I would hope would be there, like Josephine and my family and my closest friends, but the support from the world was amazing. And especially, that's the beauty of social media. It can be a horrible time as a professional sportsman when you continue to fail and you're getting bombarded with messages, but this just shows the really good side of social media.
Josephine, we introduced you, of course, as James's fiancée. I mean, you have only recently got engaged, haven't you?
Last week.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's nice to have something to smile about after all of this, so yeah.
And you are batting way above your weight, you know that.
Correct,
right?
That's always good, that's the way you want it.
Did that, I mean, was that moment sort of brought forward because there was a sense of life's too short to waste any...
Luckily for Josie's sake, it wasn't just a knee-jerk reaction. I'd planned, and I'd had the ring for a few months, actually. So I was always going to do it the way I did it, but I wouldn't have been able to do it that weekend because I would have been playing cricket. So this just allowed me to do it like a few weeks earlier.
Did you propose from your hospital bed?
Oh, I wasn't that quite romantic.
Bended knee? Can you even do that? You're allowed to?
I can. We went for a nice picnic where we actually had our first picnic together. So just pretty simple. I couldn't get my heart racing too much. So I just handed it the ring, kept it very simple.
Josephine, let me ask you. I mean, look, it's the end of his playing career. Shattering blow for any young professional athlete, obviously. But on a positive side, he could have died. I mean, you know, people have died from this just like that on a sporting field.
Exactly.
As his fiancée now, you must feel lucky just to have him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I've always said, well, the cricket thing we can deal with. Not playing sport, we can deal with all that. As long as he's here and he's all right, and he is. And when you've been at a point where you're not even sure if he's going to be all right, you think, OK, we can handle everything else. Everything else is fine. Obviously, it's awful for you, but you know,
Did you
at least
even like
you're here.
cricket, Josephine? Be honest. You didn't, did you?
I learned to enjoy it.
Is this
I
the best
enjoy it
thing
now, I
quietly that's
understand.
ever happened to you? No longer have to watch
Yeah, I don't
cricket
have to
all
go.
day.
No, I don't get any nice holidays anymore. Well, I'm sure, but any
It's
of the
just,
nice
you've got a strap across your chest. It's not a man bag. What if you got attached to your body to keep you going?
It looks like I'm a tourist. It's a terrible looking camera. But yeah, so around here I've got a vest. It's called a life vest, and it's basically an external defibrillator that once I took keel over on the floor, it would bring me back to life. It would send me a massive electric shock, which wouldn't be very nice.
And you've got surgery, haven't you, coming up to put one in?
Yeah, so I've got surgery coming up early June, 8th of June. That's penciled in, and yeah, so that will go ahead. More than likely, I'm just in the monitoring phase at the minute. It's like a big jigsaw. Everything's being put together at the minute, and I've got further tests coming up within the next 2 weeks.
Well, look, mate, you were incredibly gutsy.
Yeah.
As a player, I've been absolutely in awe of you since this happened. From the moment you Instagrammed yourself lying in bed, and it's been so positive. I don't know if I could have done that, and to have everything robbed from you. But you've got a beautiful fiancée, you've got a life to look forward to that perhaps you wouldn't have had in different circumstances, and I wish you all the very best with it. And you know what? Whoever replaces you tomorrow is going to get a duck, aren't they? So there's always going to be a light. But I really do wish you all the best. It's an awful thing to have happened to you, but you're a great guy, and we're all right behind you.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.